Okay. So it's been a while. It's been a while since I made my last video, and yeah, as most of you rightly guessed, I just stopped coding. Didn't get to code. I think I had mentioned. I don't even remember what I mentioned in my last video. It was probably something about me getting a job in customer support, more like they say it's technical support but not really technical, but it pays decently well. I won't complain. It pays well, but yeah, uh, given that it's been say 7 years since I graduated, it's tough. 7-8 years after graduation to still be making not as much as I was hoping for. And yeah, I just wanted to focus all my energy on the new job, because every time you go into a job, my experience has been, if you take it lightly, you can, when I say lightly, right, if you don't take it too seriously, in the sense that, okay, it's a new job, I have time, let me learn slowly and figure things out. So at least my personal observation has been, if I take things that way, then yeah, my I'll just take way too long to figure out, what most of the other people can figure out in a couple of months. And so I took the alternate approach, and this time I changed things a bit, wherein I took on, additional stuff, additional tasks. Uh, I worked as much as I could. uh, I exceeded the basic goals. It took me, 2-3 months to even just get a hang of things, because there's a lot of documentation and stuff and standard procedures that I had to, keep in mind, that you have to keep going through. This is a role wherein if you don't do the tasks daily, yeah, yeah, I would get, uh, I will not be doing well at work. So yeah, I have to always be on my toes. This is one thing. But now I'm comfortable with the pace. I know how to meet my basic goals, or the basic daily activities. I know how to meet my targets, and since I feel like I've sort of gotten a decent foothold on this new on the job. I think originally my hope was during training and all that, I'll keep trying to code, but I realized training was quite exhausting, and then traveling to office and back, wherein I just spent almost 3 hours just in traveling every day. It got quite exhausting, at which point, and health has been a huge area of focus for me, on a personal level. So if I do not work out, or do exercise on a daily basis, my health just drops all the way. And yeah, I did not want to blow up on my health, which I had been paying quite a lot of money in terms of personal training. So I made it a point to prioritize my health, and then stopped coding, which was not the best decision. But at that moment, I think going back, I would still prioritize health. So yeah, it's been there. Now, right now, it's been what, 7.5 months roughly since I started my new role. The 7.5 months includes my training time and all of that. So in actual work, I would say I've been working for maybe about 5.5 months, of actual work. So I think, yeah, I've learned quite a bit, and I have understood that there is quite a lot to learn. But I've also identified the fact that, the opportunity to grow in this role, and to sort of, let's say, get into a managerial role, the timeline is very long. And I frankly do not want to stick in this role for that long of a time. I've seen people in, this role, being stuck in the same place for even half a decade, or lesser or more, and I frankly don't see that as a good thing. But yes, everyone has their own responsibilities, their own timelines, so I can't really blame anyone, and I just want to focus on what's mine. Surprisingly, I came back to Sharpener. This is one of the first accounts I had with Sharpener because I'm a college graduate. They hadn't coded in quite some time. They just reverted everything that I'd done. And when I logged in after, let's say, 5 6 months, it showed a message stating, yeah, we see that you haven't been regular. It seems like you're not taking this seriously. Please, you can go ahead and reactivate your account once, just this once. And I was like, okay, I gave it a thought. And the reason I came back to Sharpener, there's millions of other platforms, right? And I've been quite vocal on Sharpener being very transparent in everything. I even attended one of their recent sessions on how the placement stats were for October and all of that. So I was like, yeah, it's actually been bugging me for quite some time. That I've tried a lot of things, and my main problem seems to be I don't finish what I start, and I don't mind coming to terms with the fact that I'm not good at something and that I'm just failing at it and it's not meant for me. That I can agree with. What I cannot agree with, or what doesn't sit well with me, is it keeps bugging me that I haven't fully put all my efforts. Let's say I complete Sharpener, I get a job as a developer, work for a couple of months or years, and then I figure out, I don't really enjoy development. I can live with that. But without having, you know, completed everything that they've asked to complete in order to get a job, without putting all the efforts to get the job, and then, once we're on the job, if we decide it's not for us, that is fine. But before that, I think there's always it just uh, one thing that irritates me is it's a blame. It's my responsibility, and I haven't tried everything. I haven't gone all the way. So yeah, I don't know. I guess this is probably the third time that I'm restarting with Sharpener. Second or third time, I guess. Yeah. And so they asked me to write a bit of a message as to why should we actually trust that you will complete it this time around. And since this is for college pass out, right, and I'll have to sign an ISA once I meet the basic, once I'm done with the basic concepts and meet the required points. That is also another twist. And yeah, I think I'd gone all the way to bit manipulation, and then now coming back, starting from, and this is a problem. This is not a problem, but this is another thing with, especially with coding. What I've observed is you stop in between, right? You have to recap the older concepts, and you won't be able to move forward without, because you will forget even the most basic of things. So I think this is the only way to go forward. And so, yeah, if you can see my dashboard, you see I'm at 0%. I'm back on level 1, which is ground zero for me. And they've changed a couple of things on their dashboard. They've added some features, and yeah, I guess this is it. Hopefully, I'm trying to complete. I actually had some personal vacation plan, to be honest, because it's been a while, and I'm not getting any more time. I'm spending a lot of time at work trying to take on more tasks, and thought somehow I could move ahead. But I've come to the hard realization that no matter how much effort I put beyond a certain level, it's at work, it certainly is based on how much experience or how much time I've spent in the role. And frankly, I don't think waiting another 4 5 years to get to a manager role is something that I can I'm not sure. It's something I don't think sits well with me. It's my fault, obviously, that I've made a lot of changes in the career and whatnot. But yeah, having just decent compensation, living in a tier one city, and also having low growth opportunities. Yeah, when you don't have money and growth opportunities, it's not great. So you should have either one in any case, in any company, right? I think that was a post on LinkedIn that I saw, quite a few months back. If you're in a company, either make sure you're getting paid well, or if you're not getting paid well, ensure that you have an opportunity to grow. If you don't have both, then you're probably in the wrong place. And if you're in the wrong place, that means you don't have the right skills, which I guess is where I am. So yeah, this is me trying to get back to coding, and the whole idea and the whole game with YouTube is, frankly, to not really be an influencer, but yeah, I like tech, and I just don't want to pay money for a lot of tech. And I've seen a lot of YouTubers get a lot of free stuff, irrespective of whether they're coders or not. So I think that social, having an audience, right? That is how businesses work, right? You have an audience, a business, pays, instead of paying for TV, they're paying, you know, uh, folks on social media, influencers, whatever you want to call them, to get the same business, right? So I guess that is the entire game. I don't think launching, even if someone becomes a coder at this point, I don't think launching courses or any of that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, Harkirat has done a great job of having an in person sort of a boot camp style program going in Noida, I believe, which is for 3 months. Fairly decent amount to pay, and I think he's providing everyone a lot of facilities in terms of comfort, I guess. All you got to do is show up every day, code, get the task done, and yeah, he's giving out referrals, which is brilliant. I think that is one way that he can do it, but he's able to do it because he's had quite an extensive experience as a software developer, and so he's in that unique position to be able to do that. But yeah, I just don't think starting DSA courses works anymore. So I'm just trying to build an audience. Whether you like my journey or not, doesn't really. I don't think I can get. I can worry about that too much. This is obviously a personal journey. So if this is something that you're trying to do as well, you want to get into coding, yeah, you can surely follow and see. Most likely, I've already failed twice in completing this. I'm not sure how many more times I'll fail. I don't want to, ideally, so I just don't want to drop it halfway, which is why I'm even considering dropping all my vacation plans, even if I lose money on it and all the bookings that I've done, because I feel that fundamentally I have to change a couple of things in order to have the kind of life that I want. So yeah, I'll share an update later on that. But yeah, I guess let me just get started on the new assignment. I'm not entirely sure of whether I. So, yeah, I think I'll have to stick to. I don't think showing the assignment is a good thing. I don't think it is legal. Technically, Sharpener's program is free. Anyone can go to that Sharpener for college students and do the entire thing for free. But I don't think putting it out on YouTube and showing all the assignments makes sense. Frankly, I think even if I did that, 90% of the people still wouldn't, you know, complete programs, myself included, I guess. Everyone needs to be personally invested for that. So yeah, I'll stick to my old style of me sharing an update once I start the assignment. Wait, let me just unlock this and see what's there. Okay. Welcome to the exciting world of coding. Scared, nervous, excited? Well, writing your first line of code is a big step, and it's totally okay to feel a mix of excitement and nervousness. Just remember, every great coder started right where you are now. Take your time, experiment, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how learning happens. But more importantly, you're not alone. You've got this, and we are here to help you at every step. Okay, see details. Okay, so I guess this is where we part ways. They've updated quite a few things on their website. Even I'm excited to see what's up. But yeah, I don't think I can show you the question or the answer. And even if Sharpener allowed me to do that, I don't think it would be beneficial for the larger audience to just have the question and the answer, because ultimately we would again fail in interviews because the interviews are in person and you have to have your video on. So I unfortunately never got to the stage of experiencing even one interview, but hopefully this time, I will put in my best efforts and ensure that the same mistake does not happen this time. So see you after I complete all of these assignments. Hopefully I need to get to 4,000 points in the next 4 days roughly. So I'm on a clock. Cool, I'll get started and see you in a bit. Hey, I'm back. So quick update. I was actually going through some of the initial few videos, and so far, since the restart, I think the first video was again a web of explaining how Sharpener works and how the platform is, and that is still their oldest video, I think. So the platform interface of Sharpener is the old interface, the very first thing they had back in 2017 or whatever. And yeah, but I think the next lectures are all updated from what I see. Earlier it was a web of explaining each most of the concepts, but now it's another person, and I don't remember his name, but yeah, I have seen that person, and he has helped me solve a couple of DSA problems earlier. So he is also pretty good with DSA, I know that much. And yeah, he explains things quite well. However, I felt that when he was explaining the concepts on, and initially they started off explaining a bit on what functions are and input parameters and all of that. I think they still, I think the old format, what Weber was explaining, it was that was better at personally. And in this, I think it might feel slightly confusing even for beginners at times, but someone who has written a few lines of code and solved a couple of problems will easily be able to get through it. It's they've tried to explain it as simple as possible, but I think you know the analogies given can still be refined and improved and made simpler, or they can find a way to sort of keep functions and explaining how functions work, maybe to a later stage, to a later point. However, seeing that they've done this, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have thought through the curriculum thoroughly when they were uploading this new set of videos. So I'm waiting to see what is new. If the problems are also new, then that would be a nice thing as well. However, from whatever I can recall, Sharpener has chosen all their problems quite carefully so that every each individual who goes through their curriculum gets a hang of all the variety of problems. So I don't think there will be a lot of change with regards to problems, but let us see. So yeah, learned, saw the video on what are functions, what are input parameters, got a basic understanding of that, and what print and return statements. So that was about it. As you can see, I have completed only 9% and collected 75 points. I have a long, long, long way to go, but since tomorrow is the weekend, I plan to, cover up the remaining points over this weekend. So yeah, that is the goal, and it's pretty late. It's actually 11 p.m. already, so I need to get get some sleep. Then, cause I wake up early, then I have to get some exercise done, get some cardio done. Yeah, so that's about it for this video. See you guys in the next one, and hopefully a lot more to come. Thank you. Bye bye.